If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like you do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns might have just unearthed a hidden gem, and if you're a fan of underdog stories, you're going to want to remember the name Luke Floria. While all the headlines have swirled around splashier signings like Deontay Johnson and Jerry Jeudy, there's something quietly brewing beneath the surface. Enter Floria, the undrafted rookie from Kent State who's been lighting up the Browns rookie. Minicamp, voluntary OTAs, and mandatory minicamp like someone with something to prove. And trust me, he does. The Browns offense has been craving depth, versatility, and consistency in the slot. And here's a guy who's checking those boxes without the fanfare of a first-round pick. But what really got people buzzing wasn't just his speed or his sharp cuts. It was the vibe. Yes, that vibe. The one that made people say, wait a minute. He kind of reminds me of Julian Edelman. That's not a comparison you throw around lightly. Edelman is a Patriots legend, a Super Bowl MVP, and one of the toughest slot receivers the game has seen. For a young, undersized rookie to be drawing that kind of comparison, that's not just hype, it's a signal. Something special might be brewing in Cleveland, and it's not just the coffee. You see, Lance Reisland of Cleveland.com didn't mince words when he dropped that comparison. His exact quote, "And if you're getting Julian Edelman vibes, you're not alone. Both excel in the slot, both are undersized, both play with a chip on their shoulder, and both rely on quickness, toughness, and sharp route running to make plays not just NFL combine measurables." That's a lot to take in, and a lot to live up to. But what makes Floria so interesting isn't just that he reminds people of Edelman, is that the way he plays is almost tailor-made for a modern NFL offense that thrives on mismatches. You put a linebacker on this kid, he'll break his ankles. You try to press him at the line, he'll find the soft spot in zone before you blink. The Browns don't need him to be a WR1, not yet. What they need is someone who can exploit space, bail out the quarterback, and force defenses to play honest. That's exactly what Edelman did for years in New England. And if Floria keeps grinding the way he has, he might not just make the team, he might become one of those players who's always open when you need 5 yards and the game's on the line. Now, let's talk numbers, because they matter, especially for a guy who didn't come out of Alabama or Ohio State. Floria ended his college career with 100 receptions, 1321 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Respectable, absolutely earth-shattering maybe. Not. But let's zoom in. Kent State isn't exactly known for high-flying aerial assaults, and Floria wasn't always working with elite QBs or massive playbooks. What he did show, though, was a knack for consistency. He caught passes in traffic, turned short routes into long gains, and always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. That awareness, paired with his crisp route running and that quick first step, makes him more dangerous than he looks on paper. He's not the guy who will wow you in a pre-game warm-up with one-handed catches and backflips. But when the whistle blows, he's all business. And when you're trying to move the chains in a gritty AFC North battle, those are the guys who keep drives alive. In fact, Browns insiders have already noted how often the ball seems to find him, almost like a magnet. Coincidence? I don't think so. But let's not pretend like this is just a feel-good story about an underdog wideout. This is about need. The Browns' passing attack has been searching for rhythm, reliability, and roles. Deontay Johnson brings router-running finesse. Jerry Jeudy brings flash and footwork. Cedric Tillman offers size and presence on the outside. But who's that guy who can work the middle? Who's that quick-out hot read option when the pocket's collapsing and the quarterback needs to get the ball out now? That's where Floria slides in, not just as a body on a depth chart, but as a real solution. The slot position is evolving in the NFL. It's no longer just a home for undersized receivers. It's become a critical chess piece, someone who can pull safeties down, force linebackers out of position, and open up deep shots for the outside guys. Floria has the instincts, the agility, and the mindset to own that role. And when the Browns look at their play-action packages and quick passing game, having a slot guy who's where he's supposed to be every time is gold. Not hype, not theory, just football. Physically, he's not going to scare you walking off the bus. He doesn't have that DK Metcalf, is that guy even human physique? But that's the thing with Floria. His power isn't in his size. It's in his leverage. It's in how he uses his body to shield defenders, how he slips past contact without breaking stride, how he explodes out of his breaks like he's been launched. And perhaps most impressively, he doesn't just survive. Physical matchups, he thrives in them. He's not afraid to bang with linebackers over the middle. He'll extend across the middle and take a hit. He'll push into his roots with shoulders squared, ready for contact. You can't teach toughness, and Floria's got it in spades. It's the kind of edge that makes coaches trust you on 3rd and short and red zone packages. Remember, Edelman built a career and a legacy by going where other receivers hesitated. Floria's already showing those same instincts. And in Cleveland, where grit is practically a currency, that might be exactly what earns him a spot on the 53-man roster come week 1. What's even more intriguing is how Floria fits into Kevin Stefanski's offense. Stefanski loves pre-snap motion, disguises, and play-action wrinkles that punish defenses for overcommitting. That means versatile players, guys who can line up in different spots, block on the perimeter, or act as a decoy, are incredibly valuable. Guess what Floria can do? All of that. He's shown himself to be a willing blocker, something many rookie wideouts avoid like the plague. Whether it's sealing the edge for a toss play or throwing a chip to help the running back turn the corner, he's not shying away. That alone gives him a leg up in a tight roster battle. And with Cleveland looking to run plenty of 12 personnel this season, having a reliable slot guy who can operate in tight space and contribute to the run game is a luxury. Think bubble screens, quick outs, jet motion. Floria isn't just catching passes. He's becoming part of the system. And when a rookie shows that level of understanding this early in camp, coaches don't forget it. And then there's the cherry on top, special teams. A lot of rookies make or break their careers based on whether they can contribute outside their natural position. Floria has already proven that he's more than willing to get his hands dirty on special teams. Whether it's covering kicks, returning punts, or blocking on returns, he's done it before and he'll do it again. That's a massive bonus for a player trying to secure one of the final roster spots. You're not just adding a wide receiver, you're adding a football player. Someone who understands that being on the field in any capacity is a privilege. And special teams coordinator Bubba Ventrone has already hinted that he's looking for gritty, smart guys who play fast and finish plays. Sound like anyone we've been talking about it exactly. That level of flexibility makes it easier for the Browns to justify keeping him on the active roster. He's not just depth, he's utility, he's insurance, and he's hungry. Let's be honest, undrafted rookies don't always get this kind of attention. The NFL is a business of stars contracts and expectations, but every now and then, a player comes along who forces the conversation. Someone who's not asking for attention, but earning it. Floria has done that and more. Teammates have taken notice. Coaches are paying closer attention. And fans, well, they're starting to whisper. Could this guy actually make it? Could he be the next where did it come from success story in the NFL? It's happened before. Adam Thielen, Victor Cruz, Wes Welker, all undrafted, all overlooked, and all eventually feared by defenses. The path is brutal, but the reward unforgettable. If Floria keeps stacking good practices, finds his rhythm in preseason, and makes a few key plays when it matters, don't be shocked if he's lining up week 1 catching a quick slant for a first down while the announcers scramble to pronounce his name correctly. And enjoying the content so far. Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. What makes all of this even more exciting is the low risk, high reward nature of Floria's situation. He's on a team-friendly contract, meaning the Browns can carry him on the roster without any major cap implications. That's a huge win for a franchise that's already juggling big money deals across the board. You get a hard-working, detail-oriented rookie who plays multiple roles, and you get him cheap. That opens the door for Cleveland to use its financial flexibility elsewhere while still getting real production from unexpected places. It's the kind of strategic depth move that separates playoff teams from pretenders. And if Floria pans out, you've got a long-term contributor who could be a staple of your offense for years, all while helping on special teams and elevating the locker room culture. That's the dream scenario for any GM. And right now, Andrew Berry has to be watching this kid and thinking, let's see how far this goes. So what happens next? Training camp looms. The pads come on. The real competition begins. But one thing's already clear. Luke Floria isn't just fighting for a roster spot. He's earning one. And if the Julian Edelman comparisons keep popping up, they won't feel like wishful thinking anymore. They'll feel deserved. Fans should. Keep their eyes locked on his name throughout the preseason. Every snap, every route, every block matters now. Because sometimes the most impactful players aren't the ones with the biggest draft buzz. They're the ones who quietly outwork, outsmart, and outplay everyone around them. Luke Floria has a long road ahead, no doubt, but if he keeps climbing the way he has, don't be surprised if someday soon kids in Cleveland are asking for a Nation 19 jersey, and when they do, you'll know the Browns might have just found their own version of Edelman, only this time in orange and brown. And if you still think this might all just be off-season hype, consider this: the Browns coaching staff isn't in the business of handing out compliments to rookies unless they mean it. Multiple insiders have reported that Floria is often the last guy off the field, staying late to work on route timing and film study with backup quarterbacks. That matters. Coaches notice that. Teammates respect it. And in a league where the margin between cut and contributor is razor thin, it's often those small details, the extra reps, the mental prep, the willingness to do the unglamorous work, that make all the difference. Plus, this isn't just about effort, it's about results. He's executing in live reps, getting open against second-string defenders, and consistently catching everything thrown his way. Every day he's on the field, he's making it harder for the Browns to imagine a 53-man roster without him. The energy around him is growing, not just as a camp story, but as a player who might actually carve out a role when the real games begin. If Luke Floria can keep this pace, Cleveland may not just have a surprise contributor, they might have a fan favorite in the making, and that kind of story, it writes itself. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you like the video, share it with a fellow fan. Hit subscribe and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!